Hello everyone. This presentation is about the project we undertook as part of this course. Our team is Data Warriors and the team members are Dong, Naga, Nidhi and myself Srini. We wanted to work on the Twitter sentiment analysis. This presentation walks through the project objectives, a high-level design, a demo of the project and also the challenges that we faced through the implementation of the project.
Project objective. We want to creating a sentiment analysis templates so that given big data set such as Twitter API, we can easily get people's review for any latest and hottest topic, such as iPhone 7, currency demonetization, US election result, or Seahawk game. In the project, we choose iPhone 7 as analysis topic.
We have implemented the solution using two approaches. In the initial stages of design, while we were learning Spark and Spark streaming, we thought of using Spark streaming to obtain the Twitter data. Later, upon seeing the capabilities of NiFi and its ease of use, we moved on to use NiFi. While we were working on a solution with NiFi, we also ran into this other approach where we could use text blob library to parse JSON files and to obtain the sentiment. So we tried using both the approaches and both the approaches are working. So we implemented using both of them. In the first approach, the Twitter data is collected by NiFi process and the tweets are stored in the JSON files which are later collected and persisted in the Hive database. The sentiment for each tweet is computed in the Hive by joining the tweets table with the dictionary table and store the results in Hive tables to be later represented as graphs in any dashboard. For this project, we have used Zeppelin to represent the sentiment data in pie chart or a histogram. In the second approach, the Twitter data is collected by NiFi process and the tweets are stored in the JSON files which are later parsed in PySpark using text blob library and the resultant sentiment output is written to CSV files. The sentiment data is later represented as graphs in any dashboard. In the first approach, we have used NiFi to collect the Twitter data as JSON files in HDFS. Upon running the NiFi, the Twitter data would be stored in the HDFS as JSON files, and there are tables and views set up in Hive that load this Twitter data from the HDFS directory, and the logic present in the Hive views would compute the sentiment. The final results of this sentiment data is stored back in this Hive tables, and we have used Zeppelin to represent this sentiment data as graphs. So we have a pie chart that would represent this sentiment data based on the country that the message has originated from, and a histogram to show the sentiment data by its polarity. So this is our first approach. Our second approach deals with the Python text blob library.
A TextBlob is a Python library which gives the sentiment of a sentence as positive, negative, or neutral. So in this case, say I have some word, TextBlob is amazingly simple to use and it shows that the polarity is 0.31. That means it is a positive polarity and it is a positive sentence. That's it, it's that simple to use. So we'll be using this with our Twitter data. To do that, we have simply used NiFi to collect all the JSON files in our HDFS, and using these JSON file, we have used Jupyter for the Python script to collect those data from there and do the sentiment polarity here, and whatever output came out of this, we simply store it into a CSV file, and using that CSV file we can generate a pie chart. So all I have done is I have use true as a good data, false for bad, and neutral for neutral. And for iPhone filter, which we have used in NiFi, I've got the sentiment analysis. That is 49% of people think that it is good to use iPhone.
The major difficulty we found during our design is irony of fits. We tried to overcome this issue by using NLP tools, but due to time constraints, we are not able to implement it. We are using standard dictionary to derive the polarity and preparing sentiments according to that. We used two different approaches for the sentiment analysis. In the first one, we are using NiFi and Hive tables to derive the polarity and sentiments. Results will be stored in a new Hive table. This approach is useful when we need to revisit the results and add some modifications in the polarity derivations by changing the view structures and dictionary values. In the second approach, we are using NiFi and TextBlob library with PySpark. It incredibly reducing the user interventions, particularly no Hive tables and no query executions. This approach is useful when we need to get a plain sentiment analysis results for different live streaming topics. Further enhancement plan is to overcome the current issues, particularly the sarcasm of tweet messages will be fixed using NLP tools or other simple methods, and make the design as template and configurable with few user input data and generate analysis results dynamically. Also make it generalized to work for both streaming data and for batch processing stored in HDFS. We are trying our level best. Thank you very much.